Hello listeners and viewers, I'm Brad and this is Offcut Media. Today we're listening to the 2010 album from former SARS frontman John Grant, Queen of Denmark. It's a more relaxing listen compared to last week's Nail. First I ever read about this album was in the music magazine Mojo, who gave it an instant classic mark and also gave it the number one album of 2010. So with this in mind, I decided I should just buy the CD and go for it. First listen, I guess I wasn't as excited as I thought what Mojo magazine was giving out, but I delved into each track and I saw what they were getting at, and hopefully you can see what I mean by that as well. We start off with TC and Honey Bear. It's a tragic tale and a hell of a way to start an album. John pleads throughout the song as it progresses and saying that his one and only must stay.
Please don't take him, 'cause I love him.
This idea of take me away instead of him is just heartbreaking, and there's an underlying tone that gets set by this throughout the rest of the album. Mars has a lilting instrumental underneath this metaphoric ideal of loss and a want to leave where we are. And the next track is probably one of my favourite songs of all time, Where Dreams Go to Die. Seriously, it's heartbreaking and truthful, but tinged with this idea that love can hurt as much as it can heal. It's an amazing song.
Baby, you where dreams go to die, and I regret the day your lovely carcass.
Sigourney Weaver, not the person, but the song, sees the freedom that John has brought from the first three songs. He's releasing himself into the world, and it's an amazing song once again, with a chorus that starts with, "And I feel just like Sigourney Weaver when she had to kill those aliens." I don't know why, but this line kind of always gets me. This is an indie folk rock album, and you're mentioning one of the greatest sci-fi films of all time. It's odd. Mind you, Winona Ryder gets a mention in this as well. By the time we hit Chicken Bones and Silver Platter Club, we get into the groove of what John Grant wants us to experience from the album. He has a playfulness on Chicken Bones that was hidden a bit earlier on in some of those tracks. So the difference between tone from TC and Honey Bear to what Silver Platter Club is stark, but this journey is yet from over. Its easier harks back to the hallmarks that was created at the beginning of the album. John Grant really hits his stride with this in his songwriting, and his idea for creating songs of love and loss are just beautiful. Outer Space allows some of the synth to eke through, and it's probably one of the weaker songs on the album. I still love it. But we get to the next track where we meet Jesus Hates Faggots. The lyrics start to become relatively PC at the beginning until some of the slurs come through and Grant is reflecting on basically a father figure that's telling him he shouldn't be gay. Yeah, good luck with that. One of the other highlights on the album, especially from the later part of the album, is Caramel. It's got the aesthetics of Mars and TC and Honey Bear, and there's a yearning from John Grant towards a new love that's just, it's once again a very beautiful song. I know I've probably used beautiful a lot, but that's just what comes across with this album.
His life to destroys my doubts and lifts me up so high. His voice.
Leopard and Lamb allows Grant to fall into a more soulful area before leading into the title track, which is also the final track on the album. Queen of Denmark is a harsh story covered by Grant's very soft vocals. The guitars strike in just at the right moment, and you kind of go down a different road, and he kind of pulls you back. It's kind of this to and fro of a toxic argument, if you will.
Out of hand, I had it all the way up to my hairline, which keeps receding like my self-confidence, as if I...
Queen of Denmark is like listening to someone with a split personality, but these split personalities actually complement each other, and they kind of need each other. John Grant stated in the interview with Mojo that the only thing that's been difficult at times is singing about some of the stuff I've written about. When it hits too close to home and I'm experiencing some of the after effects of going through all of that, it feels like I'm poking a finger into a bullet wound. The album is John Grant at his most vulnerable. As the albums progress from John Grant and his discography grows, we see more of the playfulness that was on Sigourney Weaver or Chicken Bones, and they appear more in his music. You need to listen to this album if you never have. It's love in all its forms, and it's forever present on Queen of Denmark. If you want to get into more of John Grant, I suggest probably Pale Green Ghosts and Love is Magic. Mind you, this year's Boy from Michigan is exceptional as well. I'm Brad, this has been Offcut Media. Thanks for listening. That's all from me today. Like, subscribe, do all those things that everyone else tells you to do. Hopefully you can do it with this as well. Tell me if there's an album that you want me to look at. I'll see what I can do. Talk to you guys later.
And there's maybe one or two of those songs per album. And the rest of them require that you sort of hold them, scold them and deal with them for a while before they turn into what they're going to be.